There's the sun and the moon when the sky's looking blue. Light is catching your eye like it's meant to.
Hello, welcome to my channel for Evolved Humans. I am Ms. Day. So, this is like a past, present, future type of thing. So, the past feeling, instantly, I almost feel like you, whoever I'm talking to, it's like the very first thing I felt before I started the reading is that this is kind of like a positive thing. It's like some of you are experiencing transitions upward, like with your abilities, and you're literally like, I feel like you're saying things either to people that you are caring for, or you're saying things to like friends, or even like a coworker who says something like about a personal struggle or something. I feel like you're responding with almost deeper, like more profound statements than you're even aware of, like that you're about to say them. I feel like you're surprising yourself. And I think that's because whoever I'm talking to has elevated, really stepping into a creative phase. And that doesn't have to be like creative, like singing and dancing and all of that. This literally, although I do feel music like a lot with these readings, but it's like, I feel like whoever I'm talking to, your voice is something you're like you're learning and you're speaking through your own lessons. It's so weird. It's cool. It's like, I feel like, you know how when you have small children and they'll ask you a question and you're like, or if you're around small children and they ask you a question and you're like awakened to a personal moment and it's almost like you don't know what to do because you do have to respond lovingly. That's neat. I feel like that's kind of what you're learning to do with yourself. You're like actually recognizing that you're speaking out that stuff. So, all right, I started with like right now, but back, I think that just, I feel like whoever I'm talking to, you really don't let your past sit in front of your view, but I do feel like it was not easy. There was a certain point where I feel like you felt very judged for a period of time, or maybe even just not just judged, but like kind of insecure, like you were like you felt looked at a lot. I don't know. I think that has to do with somebody's abilities, because I think that a lot of times a lot of people level out when they recognize what is sparking their anxiety or what's sparking like an insecure feeling. And that's a part of like sensing other people sometimes. It's like you can feel super insecure and uncomfortable, like everybody's looking at you, but they're not. And I feel like whoever I'm talking to though, some of you, it was that. It was like, you know, like we all, I think, go through during adolescence. It's like that feeling feels normal. That feels human. And then this other part, it's like it feels really unjust, like rude. I feel like you felt judged for a period of time. And at some point, because of it, I don't feel like I think it hit you hard. But I really don't think that it's like you laid down your arms and accepted what was. And you didn't let it identify you. It's like you didn't let what their perception of you was become your identity. Even if you had to experience like a hard period of time coming up, because I do think it was like a trench type of thing where you did have to come out of that sort of disappointment, that letdown of judgment. That's disappointing. Especially if it's someone you trust. Okay. So currently though, I really feel like whoever I'm talking to, it's like you've embraced, something has happened, because I do feel like you sealed out, you stepped out of the trenches. It's like I feel like you stepped out of the trenches, and that's as good as it gets as far as revenge for you. I feel like you don't have any need to go backwards or stab at anybody else. You just want to go forward, learn from it, grow from it, leave it. I feel like you're leaving it in the past as a lesson learned and a phase that you had to go through. And I feel like you're freshly in a brand new one. Again, and it's like, this feels like you have found your center. It's like you've found your center, your heart, and it's coming out of your voice and like in things that you're doing, but someone is speaking. Like, this feels like a lot of people are channeling with your mouth, like you're putting it out into the world, which is really neat. Another thing I feel like, that is power. That's been a message I feel like's been kind of floating around today, which is just a reminder. I keep getting signs about our voices. So like this voice thing, like your voice is more powerful than I think we let it be when we go through things like that and we have to forge our own way. It's like, I feel like whoever you are, it's like you're in a new creative phase where you know that there's more going on than the eye can see. You know it. And you also it's like you've re-embraced just your own feelings. This feels like similar to the last one. I feel like this creative phase, it's like a childlike excitement that you had to lay down and leave behind. It's like when you laid down your arms before, that was almost like stepping up into just a new maturity phase, because it's like you weren't going to go back down again, and you weren't going to sit in that period of time forever, or that lower level that you were kind of feeling bogged into. So yeah, like speaking and using your voice, I feel like your voice has such a strong power, like in the things that you're saying, and you might just be noticing it in weird little moments, and it's like it doesn't feel like it quite fits in because it's high level. It's really neat. Okay, so then going forward, it's like there's this, I feel like there's no fighting in your next phase. Like, and that doesn't mean, this is so interesting, it doesn't feel like there's no fighting, but it does feel like you have to get your focus on what you don't want in your path. It feels really strongly that like your foundation needs to be not only what you want as the outcome. That's crazy. So, okay, I'm remembering something, I'm not sure. Okay, I think it might have been Jim Rohn. There's this, like, one of the things he said was that a lot of people that do things in a successful way, they focus on the results and not just how to do it. It's like you have to know how to do something, yes, but you also have to know what result you want. Don't just see what results you can get. It's like they want you to visualize, like, what results do you want, get, and then what do you vehemently not want? Like, what do you not want going forward? Because when you step into this, like, creation level, finally, it's like you get to get your hands out and do it. It's so interesting. I feel like you get to do something now. Like, a lot of speaking happen. I don't know. It's like a mixture. Okay, so anyway, going forward, it's like it's gonna feel almost like you're being pulled in a lot of directions the more open you get to create. Because the more you create, I feel like this is crazy. It's almost like breaking like little seams and just like the light coming through. It's like yours though. I feel like you're breaking out. It's really neat. So it seems like an approval type of feeling with a go forward and into a creation mode. It's like you need to know that what end result you want, that is the end result that is desired for you. And that's obviously different for everybody, but like someone, I feel like you don't think you know what you want. But the truth is, the only reason you think you don't know what you want, it's almost like it feels like what you want is too aligned with what everybody thinks you should want. It's like they're telling you have so much more power in your hands than you know. And you're going to need all of it if you really want something new. If you really want like the most out of this next step that you're going into, the next endeavor, it feels like they're like, okay, decide what you want and put it, like make that your stamp, and you've got to get that stamp out of whatever's coming before it. It's crazy. I don't know why I'm saying stamp. That's weird. But it does feel very much like they want you to see what you want in the future, because you're going to be able to draw it in. That's how we do it. It's like you have to see it, and then everything inside of you will start working for it. And whoever I'm talking to, like, you're so able to, I keep feeling like you're able to multitask. And I think that you can do it, and you can kind of rise up into it, like into all of those things happening at once. And I think that that's actually a part of how you're going forward. If you're that open and that like able to do all of these things, when you open up to the creation, this new level that you're like able to expand into again, it's like, or fully, finally, I feel like someone, whoever you are, it's almost like you feel like there's someone in here. This isn't everybody. But it feels like someone thinks their childlike dreams, like the dreams you had when you were a child, or like the dreamlike state, it's like you left something in your youth like it was a childhood trait. Like kids do that. And I feel like you're kind of being advised and nudged at it even. I think some of you are being nudged at it where you're getting poked at all the things that matter to you. You might even get triggered. And that's how you realize, like, that really matters to me. But, like, instead of just getting poked and just getting triggered, it's like you have the power in your hands now to act on it. To be like, okay, well, then what can I do? Why is that bothering me? What can I do? It's like your time to really test it. And they're like saying, if you want something other than what you think other people think you should do next, or what feels sturdy and normal, it's like, oh, that's another thing that's coming to mind. That this is Earl Nightingale. He said that the people that take the biggest risks, like, those are actually the ones who are truly living. Because it's like, who are the biggest risk takers? The ones who change civilization, like the ones who give us new ideas that nobody had the balls to be laughed at. Sorry, I don't know if that bothers anybody. I'm sorry, it slipped out. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to end it at that. But I feel like going forward, whoever this is, it feels so strongly that they want you to step into your power, but do it with a level head. They're like, yeah, but don't only rely on what feels exciting and new and good, and don't only do what you think you have to do the right thing. It's like they want you to align and stick your passion in there, and that's approved of. It's like that. It's like you need that to feel like it has a place somewhere. And it absolutely does. It's just when you step into that and you start to really align with it, that's when things kind of get like more noticeably big. And it's like, that's how it feels going forward. That's what it feels like. I feel like you're going to have to get solid on, I do want this, I don't want this. And if you don't want this certain outcome, it's like, well, then what do you need to get rid of present day to make sure? Or even, who do you want to stop interacting with as much, or maybe in a less engaged way? That's what it feels like. I feel like there's this next phase, and some of you already know this, that you need to start cleaning out the people in your circle. Some of you, this is not all of you, but I do think that some of you, you know what, this could even be like what you're letting in your head too. Like what you're watching, what you're listening to. Like, are you just passing time, or are you nourishing yourself in some way? You know? Okay. Not that there's anything wrong with like doing the fun things. Anyway, okay, I'm going to end it at that. So if you feel like this resonates, definitely let me know in the comments again. And then subscribe to my channel, allow for future notifications if you want to know when I upload new videos. And thanks for all the positive feedback as well. When you let me know like that you like the way that the reading goes or something, that's super cool. Because it's funky. Okay, so anyway, I hope you have a really good rest of your night and weekend, and I will see you in the next reading. Okay, bye.